If I were the Prime Minister. The human mind imagines many things. It endeavors to manifest them. Many individuals succeed in this, while some do not. I do not consider imagining as something bad because all inventions are the realization of imaginations. When I look at modern Indian society, I become worried. India has made significant progress after gaining independence. Despite this, the lives of most Indians are lacking. Corruption has hollowed out every part of society. I think that if I were to become the Prime Minister of India, I would solve each and every problem. If I were the Prime Minister, what am I even thinking? Is becoming a Prime Minister a child's play? The term Prime Minister carries so much weight, evoking various responsibilities, yet at the same time, it feels both daunting and prideful. Indeed, becoming the Prime Minister of a great democracy like India is a matter of immense pride and honor. Who can deny that fact? To become a Prime Minister, one must have a wealth of diverse life experiences, direct exposure to political activities and affairs. It's essential to have a background of public service and dedication, and the individual's own life should be an exemplary model of sacrifice and dedication. Another crucial aspect is that in today's era, every country and its Prime Minister have to work while enduring various national and international pressures and political maneuvers. Therefore, it is considered essential for a person aspiring to be Prime Minister to be astute, politically savvy, and capable of handling pressures and challenges effectively. Certainly, I do not possess all these qualifications, yet this thought often echoes in my mind, resonating repeatedly. What if I were the Prime Minister, then? If I were the Prime Minister, my first duty would be to focus on building a national character, especially for the youth of independent India, by rigorously working on education and measures to create a sense of nationalism and integrity among the citizens. Instead of initiating developmental plans immediately, if our previous Prime Ministers had focused on nation building and then started development plans, their benefits would have reached the common people more effectively. Today, our plans and all government departments have become entrenched in negligence and corruption, and with a national character in place, such possibilities would naturally cease to exist. The fundamental flaw in the Constitution of Independent India is that it divides the country's population into minorities, majorities, scheduled castes, tribes, etc., and has separate laws and regulations for each, despite slogans and claims of equality. If I were the Prime Minister, I would strive to eliminate such deficiencies remaining in the Constitution and enforce a single word, Indian, and ensure equal laws for all, so that all indicators of discrimination would automatically vanish, and India would remain solely for Indians, not for minorities or majorities. If I were the Prime Minister, I would implement all kinds of developmental plans in such a way that they could be entirely funded from national resources. Without relying on foreign funds and assistance, I would ensure the country's self-reliance. I would not allow policies or other plans that succumb to pressures to affect the nation's self-esteem, which would lead to economic and cultural losses in the near future. Every independent nation formulates its education policy by keeping its national language and national cultural interests in mind. It's unfortunate and distressing to say that even after more than half a century of gaining independence, India doesn't give much importance to these two essential tasks. If I were the Prime Minister, I would make efforts to formulate such an education policy diligently and attempt to resolve the national language issue at the primary level, declaring a national language. If I were the Prime Minister, I would never allow the nationalization of corruption. Upon the exposure of any individual's corruption, I would seize all their assets and declare them as national property. Similarly, I would not let various divisive elements emerge, and if they did, I would crush them firmly. I would make every possible effort to uphold national interests, unity, and equality, protect individual dignity, and combat injustices and atrocities against the female gender. It's highly probable that because of all these actions, the Prime Minister's chair slips away from my hands, but I wouldn't play the game of acquiring votes and saving the chair. Instead, I would do everything for the nation's development and safeguarding its dignity, which is what the common people want and what is most essential. There are so many problems in India that solving them is not easy. If I were the Prime Minister, I would dedicate my entire life to solving them. Right now, I am a student. After completing my education, I will enter politics and one day surely become the Prime Minister. Then, I will be able to build the India of my dreams.